Rightio. Okay, so we're going to use the band a bit with leg control, but we'll see how we get on. Leg control, glutes, all that sort of thing. So rub your legs, rub those hands up and down those legs. Let that back stretch. Reaching forwards, tilting at the pelvis here, tilting at where the leg goes in. So we're tilting the pelvis forward and then vertical, tilt forward and vertical. Tilt it forward, let those knees just soften up as you go forward. And then hold on to your calves or your shins or your ankles and just pull that body forwards and down. And then push that right knee down towards the floor and release, and push that left knee down towards the floor and release. And then push both knees down towards the floor. And then lift yourself up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, pull them round, pull them down. Roll those shoulders forwards, up to the ears, pull them back. Push forwards with your chest, using your fists on the floor. So I've got my hands on the floor, using my arms as a stake, so don't lean backwards on them. So if you take your hands away now, you should be vertical on your seat bones. Mum, it looks like you're leaning back. Try to come forward so you can feel your front bottom towards the mat. So you're learning to hold yourself vertically. Push that chest forward, push the tummy towards the knees. If you feel strained, then let your knees bend up a bit. Yeah, pop your hand, you can use your hands on the floor, Jane, to open that chest. So you're lifting that chest up and then release those hands, pop them on the thighs and then roll them forward and round that back. Rounding all the way down, taking the chest down towards those thighs. Bend your knees up and put your hands on your toes. Get your hands all the way over your toes so the fingers are into the middle of the arch of the foot. And then push those toes away so they're stretching. Pushing the toes away, they're gripping onto the hands and stretching through those armpits. And then release. And then holding onto your toes, push them down towards your shin. So you're bending that toe joint. I'm using the ball of my hand to push. And then I'm going to use my thumbs on the top of my toes and push those toes away from me. So I'm really flexing and extending those toe joints. And then holding across the top of the foot, turn those soles of those feet towards each other. And then turn the soles of those feet away from each other. And then release, let those hands run all the way along those legs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back. Big roll with those shoulders, hands on the floor again. Push that chest up, take that head back, chin up to the sky, stretch through the front of the body, stretch through the neck. And then bring that head all the way down into the chest and pull the back of the neck, stretching. Putting those shoulders together, eyes are down. Turn the eyes around so you're looking to the right side of that right leg, keeping those shoulders pulling together. Lifting that left ear from the left shoulder. And then let those eyes swing through. So you look at the left side of the left leg, pulling those shoulders together. Pulling the right ear away from that shoulder. And then bring those eyes back to the center. And then squeeze those shoulders together. Bring those eyes up to horizontal. Take them all the way up to the sky again. Slowly moving that neck. Slowly flexing that neck. And then bring that chin down into the chest. And one more time, take the eyes to the right. Pull the left ear from the left shoulder. Pushing that fist into the floor. And then slowly swinging the head through to the left side of the left leg. Pulling that right shoulder away from that right ear. Squeezing those shoulders together, lifting that chest up, pushing those seat bones into the floor. And then bring those eyes to the front, looking down. Hands on the legs. Bring the eyes just up to the toes and roll yourself all the way forward. One more time, stretching. And then sit yourself up nice and tall. Put the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind. Lift and turn all the way around, looking over that right shoulder, lifting the chest up, lifting through the tummy, turning at the waist. And then back round to the front. And then lifting and turning the other way. Pushing off that right hand, looking over that right shoulder, lifting that chest up. And then come back to the front. Bring those arms up in front of you. Big breath in, breathing out, lower down to the floor for 8, 7, slowly through the pelvis, slowly through the lower back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head on the floor, hands all the way overhead. Reach and stretch. Push those fingers away from the feet. Push that right hand away from the right foot. Push that left hand away from that left foot. Push both hands away from both feet. And then pull those shoulders down towards the waist, leaving the fingers on the floor, keeping those arms straight. Bring those arms all the way up into the sky. Take those hands out wide, putting those backs of the hands to the floor, palms up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, putting the shoulders away from the ears. Now your back is potentially lifted off the ground. Push the tailbone in the floor, push the tummy up, stretch through that back. So you're really pushing through that chest. And then release, push that back down to the floor, reach the hands away from each other. Bring them all the way up into the sky. Let those shoulders slide round those ribs towards the side. And then pulling those shoulders, back into the floor. Pulling those hands out wide, palms up, pulling them all the way out wide, breathing in. On the out breath, sliding those shoulders towards each other. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Push the tailbone in the floor. Arch that back up. Push that tummy up, push that chest up, reaching. And then lowering that back down to flat. Bring those arms all the way up into the sky, breathing in. Reaching those hands up tall, pushing that spine into the floor. So we're doing the cat and dog, or we're doing the arching and rounding on the ground here. Pull those shoulder blades into the ground. Lifting that chest up, pushing the tailbone down, bring those hands out wide, back to the hands to the floor, palms up. Push the tailbone in the ground. Push that head down on the floor, push those shoulders in the floor, lift the chest up, stretch through that back. And then release, bring those arms up to the sky, flatten that back into the floor, bring the chin into the chest. Pushing the back in, roll that body all the way up, hands on those legs. Reaching all the way forwards, reaching all the way forwards. And then sit yourself up. And then lowering down again to the ground for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms overhead, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Push those hands away on the floor, let the shoulders come up. Pull those shoulders down towards the waist. Bring those arms up to the sky. Bring that right knee in and hold it. Bring that left knee in and hold it. Bring the knees into the chest, curl that lower back, bring the nose to the knees, and release. Bring that nose to the knees, and release. Hold on to the right leg and let that left leg go out straight. Pull that right leg up in towards the armpit, pulling those feet away from each other. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Pull that right leg all the way over the body. Let the knee go to the floor as far as it can go. Push that hand away. Stretching. So we're mobilizing the spine a bit before we go on the roller. Pushing the knee towards the floor. Push the hip after the knee. Push the shoulder after the hand. Stretch through that tummy. Breastbone to the sky. Belly button to the sky. And then release, go back onto the back, pull that knee in towards the hip. The shoulder. Let that leg go out straight, take those arms all the way overhead, reach and stretch. Bring those arms up to the sky, bring that left knee in, pull that left knee up to that shoulder, stretching through that groin, stretching through that, stretching those legs away from each other. Bring that left leg all the way over the body. Pushing that left hand away, bringing that left knee to the floor, pushing that left hand away, breathing in, breathing out. Follow the hip after that knee. Follow the shoulder after that hand, and then pull the breastbone up to the sky, pull the tummy button up so we turn through the waist. And then release and roll back onto the back. Pull that left knee back up into the armpits. And then let that left leg go out straight. Take those hands overhead, reach and stretch. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Bring that chin into the chest. Roll yourself all the way up, hands on the legs, rolling all the way down towards those feet, reaching and stretching. Let those knees pop up a bit, pull that tummy button down to those thighs, and then push that right knee down to the floor, and then the left, and then both knees down, and then sit yourself up nice and tall. Good, grab your roller in. Grab your roller in, pop it on the floor behind you, feet flat. So have the roller in the middle of the mat, elbows on the roller. We're going to rest those lower ribs on it. So breathing in, on the out breath, lowering down, empty your lungs, push the breastbone up, let that head come down, push that tailbone down. Breathing in at the bottom here. Breathing out, release here. Breathing in, breathing out, lift yourself up. Move the roller up a touch. Breathing in, breathing out. Release over the roller. Push the breastbone up to the sky. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out at the bottom. Breathe in again. Lift yourself back up. Breathing out. Breathe in at the top and breathe out and lower down. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out at the bottom. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out and lift up. Breathe in, move the roller again. Breathe out, lower down. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out at the bottom. Breathe in at the bottom. And lift yourself back up. Holding that head in the hands. Move the roller one more time. Breathing out. Let that body go back over the roller. My head's resting on the back of it. Breathe in here. Breathe out, push that chest up, push the back of the head into the roller. Breathe in. And then take hold of the head in the hands and roll that roller all the way down to those bottom ribs. And when you get there, all the way back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening through those ribs, stretching that bum down, stretching that head down, going back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Leaning on that left side, going down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going over onto the left. Keep on going over. All the way over, slowly up, slowly down. If you want, you can bump your bum on the floor, you can use your elbows. Take some weight away. All the way through that side. And then rest with that roller in the armpit. And then rocking that body forwards and back. Rocking forwards and back. Rocking that body forwards and back through that armpit. Through that armpit, and then gently move yourself up. So you can lift your bum up, moving up. You can have your bum off the ground, have it on the ground. Up to you. And then move up a little bit more. And then moving up a little bit more. And then moving up a bit more. And then moving back down. And then rolling the full length down and up. And then over onto the back. All the way up, all the way down, just slowly. And then onto that right side. All the way down, all the way up. Over onto the right. All the way over. Through. And then stop with a roller in the armpit. Rocking forwards and backwards. So I've got my bum on the floor. And I just lift my bum and move up a bit. And I roll down. Rolling forwards and backwards. Feel those muscles around that shoulder blade. Moving up. So we're giving our shoulders a bit more. We normally do this a bit with the tennis ball. So we're giving it a bit more oomph with the roller. Moving up again. Rocking forwards and backwards. And again. So we get down to those bottom ribs. And then we change direction and go back up. Moving that roller up. And then just rolling down. Rolling up. So support the neck if it feels sore with that underneath hand. And then get yourself back onto your back. Can't believe how fast the clouds are whizzing by. All the way down. All the way up. And then stop with that roller in that bra strap area. Rest the bum on the floor, rest the head on the floor. Take hold of the hands overhead, push them up into the sky. Take those hands all the way over your head onto the floor. Reach them away. Push those legs out straight on the ground. Reaching and stretching. If you want, you can be a bit daring and push the heels into the floor and lift the bum up off the ground. So you're pressuring into that spine and then lower that back down. You could move those feet towards the bum so your knees are a bit bent and then straighten the knees and you roll the roller down a little bit. And then bring the knees back up to bent, bring the feet back up, bring those hands back in, take hold of the head, chin into the chest, roll yourself up a bit and then just move that roller. Move us through that area that you just pressured and then pop the bum on the floor and lift yourself up. Good, lift yourself up to sitting. Bring that roller under your knees. We're just going to do the sacroiliac joint. So have the knees bent. Get yourself with some space behind. Knees bent, feet flat. Keep the roller close to the bum. And then we're going to roll ourselves down to flat on the floor. So letting ourselves down here, pull those feet in so that they're under the knees. So my Achilles is touching the roller and it's also touching my bum, so it's in quite close. So flatten that back into the ground, and in doing so, the tailbone lifts up, pubic bone goes up to the sky. Notice what's happened to the shoulders. Have they rounded? Pull them up to the ears, pull them into the floor, slide them down. Arch that back by turning the tailbone down to the floor. Flatten that back by lifting that tailbone off the floor, keeping those shoulder blades flat. Don't let those shoulders lift up. Arch that back by turning the tailbone down to the floor. Flatten that back by lifting that tailbone up. Lengthen the head away from the neck. Keep pushing with those heels and lift that spine off the ground so you come up into the bridge. Holding yourself strong, push those fingers down towards the heels. Lower that back all the way down to the ground, opening up through that chest, arching that back at the bottom, pushing that tailbone down, breathing in. On the out breath, flatten that back, push the pubic bone high, lift that body up to the ceiling. Bring yourself into the bridge. Keep those knees hip distance apart. Pull that roller in so the hands are resting on it. Bring it right in so it's going to rest under those hips. Pull the tummy button down so your lower back pulls into the roller and you're protecting it. Lengthen your head away from your neck. So just resting your hips on the roller. In this position, drop that left knee down to the side. Bring it back up. I've got my hands on my hips. Drop that left knee down to the side. Bring it back up. Drop that left knee down to the side. Hold it there. Now push that left hip into the roller as if you're trying to get it under the right hip. Release. Push that left hip in. 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 Hold it there. Now let's do 3 little pulses. 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring that knee back up. Release that hip. Okay, right knee. Drop it down to the side. Bring it back up. Drop that right knee down to the side. Push that right hip into the roller and release. Push it in, release. Push it in, release. I'm trying to glide my right hip under my left hip. Push that right hip in, release. You can feel the orientation of the pelvis changes in your hands. Push the right hip in, release. Push that in, release. Bring that knee back up. Drop the knee down, push the right hip in, hold it. Now 3 little pulses. 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee back up. Hold on to the roller. Bring that left knee up so it fits off the floor, knees coming up over the belly. Bring that right leg up. So if you just hold those legs up, just jiggle yourself so you're comfy on your roller. Don't let the roller roll away. And then let gravity just pull those feet over your head, pull those knees up and feel the stretch in that lower back. Keep those shoulders on the floor, lengthen them from the head. If you want, push your arms on the roller, lift the back up a little bit and bring the roller a little higher up your spine. Just let gravity, every out breath, let those feet come closer to the ground. Breathing in, breathing out. Push those knees to the sky. Point those toes away. Flex those heels. Point those toes. Flex those feet. Point those toes. Flex those feet. Circles with those feet one way. Circles with those feet the other way. Push the knees up high. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Bend those knees. Take the feet back over the bottom. Draw the core in and pull the back into the roller and then let that right leg go all the way over so the toe comes to the floor. Let the left leg go all the way over so the toe comes to the floor. Move the roller so it's just down by the bottom of your tailbone. Keep this core strong. Pull this tummy into the roller, lengthen the neck. Now extend that right leg out straight. Push the heel out on the floor. Feel the stretch through the top of that leg. Feel the stretch through this hip. Feel the stretch through the top of this leg. And bring that right leg back in. Push that left leg out straight on the floor. Push that heel down, extend through the top of that hip. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring that leg back in. Push that right leg out straight, hold it there. Lengthening. Push that left leg out straight too. Draw that core really strong so you hold the tummy. You should not feel this in the lower back. If you feel it in the lower back, do single legs. Bring that right leg back in. Bring that left leg back in. Holding yourself here. So we're using the roller to stretch that hip flexor. Push those heels in the floor. Clench the bum. Lift that hip up and move the roller out of the way. Lower that body all the way back down to the ground, arching that back at the bottom, and then curling that, flattening that back. Bring those knees into the chest and bring the nose to the knees. And release. Bring the nose to the knees and release. Hold yourself like that. Keep your feet away from your bum. Keeping your feet away from your bum. Arms flat on the floor beside you. Roll those shoulders into the floor, slide them down. So your knees at 90 degrees. Draw in that core and take that right leg over, tap the heel on the floor. Bring that leg back up. Take that left leg over, tap that heel on the floor, feeling that neutral spine. Bring that leg back up. Take that right leg over, put the heel on the floor. Just hold it on the floor gently. I want it very light on the floor. Take that left leg over, same thing, very light on the floor. Bring that right heel back up. Bring that left heel back up. Take that left heel over to the floor. Take it very light. Imagine it's sitting on an egg or something very, very delicate. Take that left leg over to the floor. Bring that right leg back up. Bring that left leg back up. Drawing in the core really strong. Take both heels down to the floor together. Rest them lightly. Hold them there. Take that right leg out straight. Feel that extension that you had over the roller. Bring that right leg back in. Take that left leg out straight. Bring that left leg back in. Bring the right leg back up. Bring the left leg back up. So we're playing with extending while still stabilizing. Take that right leg over to the floor. Hold it. Take that left leg over to the floor. Hold it. Extend both legs out straight. Really, really releasing through the hip and the tummy. And then bring both legs back in. Lift the left leg up. Lift the right leg up. Push those shoulders away from the ears. Make sure all those ribs are on the ground. Make sure the lower back's slightly lifted. Slowly lowering both heels to the floor. If you want to do them individually, you can. Extend both legs out straight. Yeah, good. Extending, opening the hips. Bring the left leg back in. Bring the right leg back in. And then drawing in the core, bring both legs back up. Good. Straightening those legs up into the sky. Straightening those legs up into the sky. Push those fingers away. Flex those feet. Point those toes. Flex those feet. Lower that right leg slowly down to the ground, keeping in neutral. Bring that right leg all the way back up. Lower that left leg down to the floor. Bring that left leg back up. Lower that right leg down to the floor. Bring that right leg back up. Lower that left leg down to the floor. Bring that left leg back up. Lower the right leg down to the floor. Keep those shoulders from the ears. Bring it back up. Keep all those ribs on the ground. Left leg down to the floor. Bring that left leg back up. Bend those knees. Lower those feet to the ground. Okay, grab your band in. So you're going to grab your band. So we're lying on our back with our knees bent. And we're going to wrap the band around our hands. So what I want is for it to be at a bit of tension, and it's going to go over your hips, and then your hands are on the floor either side of your hip here. So you've got a bit of tension over the hips. So if you wrap it around your hands, then you're not going to lose the tension. So keeping those feet closest to the bottom, roll those shoulders up to the ears, slide those shoulder blades down, hold that band, holding the tension across the hips. Breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the back into the floor, lift the pubic bone up. We're going to bridge. Release, arch that lower back. Breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the band into the floor, lift the pubic bone up, push through the heels, balls of the feet are soft, and then push up against that band to the sky. So clenching. So you're pushing into the band, and then releasing that spine one vertebra at a time. Keep the tension in the band by keeping the pubic bone up, and then release, lowering all the way to the floor. So I want you to it focuses you more on lifting through that pubic bone. Breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the back into the floor, lift the pubic bone up, push it into the band, clench with the bum and push into that band. Ease with that spine from the top, keeping the tension in the band through the pubic bone, staying high, lower the vertebra one at a time, all the way down to flat, arching the back at the bottom. Breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the band into the floor, push the pubic bone all the way up high, hold yourself here, push those hands away from the shoulders. Lower that spine one vertebra at a time, arching the back at the bottom. Breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the band in the back into the floor, push that body up. Lift that pubic bone high, pushing into the band, holding yourself up here. Pushing those hands away from the ears, breathing in. On the out breath, lift the left heel up and lower. Lift that right heel up, keeping pushing into the band and lower. So Helen, get your hips higher. So if you look down your body, you want to be able to see the band. Lift the left heel up and lower. So hang on, your feet should both be on the floor. Is that Jane? Don't lift your feet off the floor. So you're up in the bridge. Hips up in the air. Yeah, okay, good. Right, so hands should be on the floor, Jane. Lift that left heel up and lower. Lift that right heel up and lower. Lift the left heel up. Now pushing through that right heel, the right heel's pushing hard in the ground, pushing that band, keep the tension on the band on both sides and try and take the left foot off the floor. Put it back down. Push through both heels, balls of your feet are up, push through the left heel, pushing both sides of the hip into the band, lift the right heel up. Now lift the right foot off the floor, keeping the tension in the band. Put the right foot back down. Lower that back all the way down to the floor, arching at the bottom. I've got a dog's head under my bum. Arching that back, flattening that back, push the pubic bone up into the sky, lifting. Push through the right heel, lift that left heel up. Push through the right heel, try to lift that left foot up. Try to put it down, flatten that left foot and lower that back all the way back down to the floor. So this is really hard to do right. So many people do not do this right. Flatten the back into the floor, push through those heels, drive that pubic bone up into the sky. So we're holding our hips up high. Pushing through that left heel, lift that right heel up. I'm hard pushed to do more than lift my heel up. Rest it down. If I lift my toes up, I drop my hip. So the aim is to lift our toes up without dropping our hip. So lift the left heel up. Right heel, sorry. Lift the right foot up. Put it down and then lower all the way down to flat. Okay, if you're feeling this in your hamstrings, which you might be, pull those knees into the chest. Pull those knees into the chest. Stretch that lower back. Let those legs go up straight, hold behind those calves. Just let the left leg hang, hold on to that right leg. Put the hands behind the calf. Try to push that knee away, try to stretch that hamstring. Try to pull that leg towards you and then release that leg. Left leg, hold behind the knee, straighten that leg up. Pull that leg towards you, feel that stretch through the back of the leg. And then release. Put those feet back on the floor. Take those legs out straight. Arms in the air, breathing in. On the out breath, rolling all the way up to sitting. Reaching all the way forwards towards those feet. Reaching all the way forwards and then sitting up nice and tall. Right, get yourself on your mat. I'm just going to get this dog outside. There you go. Right, sitting up on your mat, put that band around the base of your feet. So, and just let it sit on, or let it cross it over so it's not going to fall off. Right, hold behind your knees and pull yourself up tall so that you get your neutral spine. So I'm sitting on my middle bottom. You can bend your knees a bit if you want, and then take hold of the band. Maybe wrap it around your hand. So the handles, for those of you with handles, it's going to be too long. So you're going to have to hold closer in. So when my arms are straight towards my feet, I want that band just in tension. So I've got hold of the bits that joins the carabiner, and I've wrapped around that around my hand. So sitting up nice and tall, breathing in. Pull those elbows behind you, pushing the chest up. Pushing those arms out straight. Pulling those elbows back and lift that chest up as you pull. So Jane, this is for you. Pull the chest up, shoulders back, and ease. So you can have your knees a bit bent. I want you on your front bottom, straighten those arms. As you bend those elbows back, you lift. So Sarah, this is really good for your shoulder. Easing forward. This is riding, lifting up nice and tall. Pull that band in, hold the chest up so we don't collapse. Holding ourselves here, turn to the right. Turn from your tummy and come back to center. So Jane, up on your seat bones, turning from your tummy button, turning left. I'm not turning very far, just a little bit. And back to center. So I've got my hands imprinted against, they're touching my ribs, my knuckles, turning to the right. So I'm not going very far. Back to center, good mum, chest up, shoulders down, turning to the left. Back to center. Ease those arms forwards. Pull those arms back, keep those shoulders back and down. Good, Sarah. Ease those arms forwards. Jane, chest up. Pull those elbows back. I think you need your knees bent, Jane, so that you can sit on your seat bone. Sit on your front bottom. Push those arms forwards. Breathing out, pull those arms back. Hold them here. Turning to the right. Back to center. Turning to the left. Back to center. Take those arms out sideways. Bring them back in. Take them out sideways. Holding up tall. Bring them back in. Take them up sideways. You might need to let go of a loop on your hand. If you take them up to the sky, turn your toes over to the floor so it doesn't ping off you. Bring those arms down. Bring them back in. Rest them on your legs. Okay, so all we're doing with the band is we're challenging the shoulder with a bit of elasticity, strength. But we've got to hold the chest up and keep the core strong. So as you do this stuff, you don't want to be doing this. So Jane, you're falling forward a bit. You've got to hold there. So you have to limit, like I'm giving you some guidance, but you have to do as much as this is that you're capable of. Never compromise the spine. We've got to stay in our neutral spine. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall. So again, your knee, how close your knee is to the floor depends on how you've got to stay on your seat bones. So now I want you to give yourself a bit more looseness. So I'm just holding when my elbows are bent, the band is at tension. So I've unwrapped the wrap around my hand. Lift that chest up. Right, this is for you, Sarah. Take that right, keeping the elbows on the chest, take the right hand away from the front, back to center. Your elbow needs to stay on your side. Take the left hand away. Lift the chest up, Jane, as you do it. Bring that hand back in. Helen, keep your elbow on your side, right hand out. Bring it back in. So we're rotating the upper arm, left arm out. Bring it back in, mum, chest up. Right hand, good correction, Jane, well done. Right hand out, bring it back in. Left hand out, bring it back in. Right hand out, keeping the elbow on the side, bring it back in, push those seat bones down. Left arm out, bring it back in. Okay, both arms out together. Both arms away from each other, lift your chest. Now this is an action, bring those hands back in, that you can do without a band, just in day-to-day life. Pull those arms out wide, those hands out wide, keep the elbows by the side. Bring them back into Sarah. This is a really good one for shoulder stabilizing. Right hands apart, because what happens after injury of the shoulder is the shoulder blade wings away from the ribs. Bring those hands back in. Lift that chest up, bring those hands apart. Bring those hands back in. Bring those hands apart. Bring those hands back in. Wrap the thing around your hand again, straighten your arms out. Bring them back into your chest. Straighten them out, hold them there. Right, hold your right hand with the loop, the left hand undo the loop, take that left arm up, straight up, turn the left toe down as you do it, bring that left arm back, take that left arm up, bring that left arm down, chest up, mum, take that left arm up. So we've made it easier by making the band longer, bring that arm down, wrap that one around the hand again. Undo the loop on the right hand, point the right toe. Bring that right arm up. Lower that right arm down. We're just going to do 4 more. Lift that right arm up. Make sure you keep that toe pointed or you'll ping the band in your face. Lower it down. Lift that arm up. And 1 more. Lift that arm up. Lower it down. Okay, get rid of that band, roll those shoulders. Roll those shoulders up to the ears down and back. Roll those shoulders up to the ears down and back, hands on the legs. Roll yourself all the way forward and stretch through that back. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Bring that right foot over the left knee, pull that right foot towards that left bum. Hold that right knee, pull it up and turn around to the right. So you stretch in this bum. So this is another way of stretching the glutes. We often do it lying on our back. We're doing it here. This time. Lifting up. Now holding, push that knee into the arm. Pushing that knee into the arm. Breathing in. On the out breath, release the push, pull the knee further, turn further. And then release, come back to center. Let go of that leg. Pull the other leg over, bring the other leg up. Lift up onto those seat bones, even pressure on each bum cheek. Take hold of that right arm, left knee in the right arm. Push off that left hand behind, pull the left knee up, turn left. Now push that left knee into the right hand. Breathing in. Breathing out, release the push, pull the knee up, turn the body further. Turn the body further. And then release, and then let go of those legs. Roll those hands all the way down towards those feet. Sitting yourself up.
Thank you, Emma. I'm off. Bye.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.
Okay, come over onto all fours, everybody else. We're going to stretch those hip flexors out a bit. So on all fours, knees are under the hip, hands are under the shoulders. Roll the inside of the elbows forward, pull those knees apart. Turn that tailbone down, push that back up, eyes down to the knees. Turn that tailbone up, bring that belly down, bring those eyes to the sky. Bring yourself in neutral. Glide your body backwards so you shut that hip joint down. And then pulling those knees apart, come back up on all fours. So slide those hands forward, lower that chest down to the ground. Reaching and stretching through the front of the body, push those forearms into the ground, lengthening and stretching through those armpits. Feel the stretch through the chest, breathing in. On the out breath, release the push and lengthen those arms away. Walk those hands back into the body. Turn that tailbone down, push that back up. Bring the eyes to the knees. Turn that tailbone up, bring those eyes to the sky, push that belly down. Come into neutral. Glide that body backwards, so we shut down that hip joint. Keep those hands where they are on the floor. Coming down onto the elbows. Pulling those knees apart, get that tummy right down onto those thighs. Lifting yourself up onto all fours. Slide those hands forward, stretch through that chest, keep the bum above the knees. Push that chest to the floor, push those hands away, resting the chin down, breathing in. Breathing out. Push that right arm, push that left arm. Lifting yourself up, walk those hands back towards under those arms. Lift yourself up onto your knees, put your left foot in front. Bring that pubic bone forward, lengthen this body up tall. If you look down your front, you see your pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone back. So lead with the pubic bone. Feel the stretch in the front of this leg. Pull this pubic bone forward, pull this back knee forward without moving it. So you feel the tension down the front of that leg. So you're bent at this angle here. So hip forward, mum, push your pubic bone forward, and Helen. Good, Sandra, good, Sarah. Really lift this tall. So this pelvis is vertical and the pubic bone is pushing forward. Feel that stretch in the front of that leg. Breathing in, bring that right arm up into the sky. Breathing out. Release the tension of the leg and lengthen, pushing that arm up. Pushing the knee into the floor, letting that hip stretch, really feeling that stretch. Breathing in. Breathing out. Reaching. And then release that arm. Release that arm. Bring those hands back down to the floor. Put your hands level with that front foot on the floor. See if you can slide that front foot forwards a little bit. Can you slide that, Mum? You might need to be on the hands on the coffee table. See if you can slide that front foot forward a bit so you straighten that leg and you stretch in the back of that leg. So have your hands up off the floor, Mum. You can put one hand on the roller. Yeah, so you just elevate it a bit. Feel that stretch through the back of that leg. Okay, walk that front foot back and swing it round so that you come onto all fours again. Turn that tailbone down, push the back up. Turn that tailbone up, push that belly down, bring the eyes up. Come into neutral. Come back up onto your knees and put your right foot in front. So get your roller vertical, Mum. Push your pubic bone forward. Draw that core in. Push the pubic bone forward so that you're nice and tall. So I want the bend at the top of that left leg. Where the left leg goes into the hip, lift up tall. Now visualize it or imagine you're bringing that back knee forward. So tense the front of that back leg. Lift that chest up high, clenching with this bum on this left hand side. Bring that left hand into the air, breathing in. On the out breath, push that left hand up high. Releasing the tension in the front of the back leg. Pushing the left hand high, pushing the hip out to the left. Really stretching through that left hip, through that left side, through that left armpit. Breathing in, breathing out. Release that stretch. Lean forward onto this front leg. Use your roller if you want, Mum. Hands on the floor and just try to lengthen that front leg. So if you can, have your hands down on the floor. If you can't, because you want to be as straight in your back as possible. So you might slide that foot forward. Feel the stretch in the back of that front leg. And then bend that front knee and bring that leg back round onto all fours. Okay, on all fours, knees are under the hip, come down onto your elbows. Hold yourself strong here. Take those legs out behind you and come right down onto your tummy. Pull those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Pull those hands out so the forearms are level with the long side of the mat. Fingertips are level with the top of your head. Clench your bum, push your pubic bone into the floor. Draw your tummy in and lift it. Tighten your thighs and lift both feet up off the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift the right leg up into the sky for 5 and ease. 4, ease. 3, ease. 2, ease. 1, hold it just off the floor. So with no movement of the pelvis, just the leg. Clench that left buttock, lift that left leg up for 5, ease. 4, ease. 3, ease. 2, ease. 1, hold it just off the floor. Both legs are hovering. Drawing in the tummy, lift both legs up for 5, ease. 4, ease. 3, ease. 2, ease. 1, lower both legs to the floor. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Draw in the tummy, clench the bum. Tighten the thighs, lift both legs off the floor. Okay, bend both knees. If you're feeling it in the hamstring, bend both knees. So your knees are off the ground. Now push your right heel up to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Push your left heel up to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Push both heels up to the sky. 3, tummy's tight. 2, pushing the pubic bone in the ground. 1. Lengthen the left leg, lengthen the right leg, relax. Breathing in. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Draw the tummy in, clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor. Lift those legs up off the ground. Bring those hands and forearms up and lower. Hands and forearms up and lower. Hands and forearms up. Bring the whole arm up into the sky for 5. Touch the elbow to the floor for 4. Touch the elbow down. 3. Elbow down. 2. Elbow down. 1. Elbow down. I've still got my legs in the air. Slide your hands to those bottom ribs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Lift that chest up off the ground. Push off those hands and come onto those thighs. Push off those hands and come onto those knees. Shoulders back, mum. Bum in the air and back into child pose. So you've got to keep the shoulders back through that, mum, all the time. They stay back behind the spine. Pushing those hands forwards straight through that back. Lengthen, breathing in, breathing out. Pulling those knees apart, lift yourself up onto all fours. Turn that tailbone down, push the back up. Turn that tailbone up, bring that belly down. Come into neutral. Walk your knees forward so you sit on the ground. Swing your legs around. Have those legs straight out in front. Hold behind the thighs, lift that chest up tall. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back. Put the fists on the floor about a foot behind. Pull those knees down. Bring the toes to the nose, clench the bum, lift the chest. Breathing in on the out breath, clench the bum, lift those hips up like you did into the band. And lower. Good. Push off those hands. Bring those hands up forward, all the way up into the sky. All the way wide and round. All the way up into the sky. Leave them there. Push those hands up, lift that chest up. Bring those arms all the way out wide. Rest those hands on your legs. and roll your shoulders. Well done.